12, 2024. Let the record reflect it is 8:30 a.m. We're in the Hill County courtroom on the first floor of the Hill County Courthouse, and a quorum of commissioners is present and established. Further, this meeting was posted last week in accordance with the Texas Government Code 551, better known as Texas Open Meetings Act. We're holding this meeting both in person and online. Ms. Paul, has anybody signed up to speak online by 8 o'clock this morning? That's a new record. Never. Okay, good deal. In which case, before we do anything else, let's first invoke the blessing of the Almighty. Pastor Kennedy, could you lead us in prayer?
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that you made, Lord. We just stand in awe at the change in the season and cooler temperatures, and Lord, we just give you the glory for all of it. Father, humbly we come before you this morning to invoke your blessing over this Hill County Commissioners Court. We thank you for our court, for our judge, the commissioners, all those that work to support them and moving forward. I just ask you to bless their lives, and we thank you for their leadership. Father, we pray for our representative government that as the new party moves in, that this transition will go peacefully and expediently. Lord, we just ask you to bless our leaders and give them wisdom and discernment as they work to move America forward. Father, we pray for the fighting men and women that serve to protect our country, law enforcement and EMS. Lord, we just ask your hedge of protection around them, bring them home safe tonight. We love you. We thank you for all our many blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, brother. If you follow me to pledge the American and the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God.
Mind wonders, mind wonders. How is the city of Whitney this morning? Come on in, guys. Good to see you. All right. Well, we'll kick this thing off. First, Pastor Kennedy, always a pleasure. Thank you for being with us this morning, and thank you for your invitation. Jim Holcomb, what's happening in Precinct 1, Hill County?
Well, we're trying to catch up as usual. Lights, runs, fence potholes.
Y'all got a little bit more rain than everybody else.
Say
I say y'all got a little bit more rain than the rest of us.
a little bit. I was out of pocket, so I didn't get any of that out. That's the long ones take care of the gators.
Oh, did they? Okay. Good.
We redid the guardrails on the bridge on Coal Horse. We had a little girl that missed the time.
Yeah.
Early in the morning and get it up in the pond. So we baked those up, made it on the table, and we got that shaped up. But we're at it at the small wide roads and just trying to catch up.
Moving and grooving. Commissioner Crumpton, what's happening in Precinct 2?
Well, 2 weeks ago, after court, we finally finished the 3111 project. We chip sealing and thank Mr. Hawkins for his water truck for a few days, and Jim had sent a couple of bobtail drivers to help us out, and then got finished that. And now we're back patching rock, bad places on roads, weak spots that keep showing up after a little rain. Back to doing that again.
There you go. Commissioner Hawkins, what's happening in Precinct 3?
Well, we got a bridge going in on 3220, just north of Penelope this week.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get that done and like Mr. Crumpton there, patching thin spots, and we've got 3 more bridge turns this morning, so I know it's still dry, but it's been a long time since we had any moisture to drag with, so we'll try and get some of that done.
Take what you can get, I understand. Commissioner Lake, what's happening in Precinct 4 this week?
We're trying to fix a few spots. We're gonna put out some ripper out today on some places trying to wash. Just trying to get things cleaned up that we keep finding thin spots every time we get a shower. So we've got a few of those out there.
Yeah, this country seems to eat gravel, doesn't it? Yes, sir.
Also on the 2348, TxDOT replacing that bridge down there. It's
Yeah.
that bridge. And I visited with the superintendent out down there the other day, asking if I could salvage those beams out from under that bridge. And he said he talked to his boss, thought he could let us have the beams out. So
Okay.
good enough beams that would save his beams to replace the bridge somewhere else.
That'd be great if we could pull that.
That road is closed. It's closed.
Yeah. Rachel, what's going on in the treasurer's office this week?
as well as election day, so I have elections payroll.
Mhm.
and 20 election workers and 30 of them is new, around 30 were new. Never worked for us before, so we had a lot of onboarding to do in our payroll system. And I filed our exact report on Friday, so we are not compliant with that system. But I emailed this morning that they accepted it. We have Thanksgiving luncheon coming up, I'll send out an email about that.
Are you heading that up for us? Thank you.
Yes. Everyone's to drive along, our veteran services officer, Gavin Logan, has a box downstairs. If anyone feels inclined to donate some for non-perishable food items to donate to veterans. And then we have Christmas coming up, and 1099 for the W2s, and we're just steadily preparing for the end of the year.
Okay, good deal. Wonderful. Mr. Cantrell, what's happening in IT?
Sir, right now, I'm working with a couple of different vendors, looking at a couple different pieces of software that we're gonna need to implement somehow, some way to get CGIS compliant. We had our CGIS audit, back in September. And so, just trying to get some information together, get some numbers together to present to the court so that we can, be CGIS compliant. Also, the on-base data extraction project is just about done. Ms. Parker, you have access to the new system file now?
Yes, sir.
And are you able to look up? I know there was an issue where you might have to
I
find.
wasn't at first, I think now I can, I just need some more time to vet the system.
Okay, sure. So we're just about to wrap that project up, the on-base data extraction project. We're kind of at the final stages on that. Other than that, it's just really kind of day-to-day stuff this week, Judge.
Okay, wonderful. Good deal. Anything County Attorney's Office?
Busy couple of weeks, more Thanksgiving, we got the very college weeks.
That'll keep you on your toes. Good deal. Mr. Jackson, what's happening in emergency management?
That be in San Antonio all day tomorrow for a meeting down there with Daily Wells.
Okay,
And just following up, we should be getting BLDA here in the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
you want to share the good news about the Siri grant?
So yeah, well, it's good news, because we don't know when they're gonna do first. The governor's office finally gave us some money for the Vanilla Tower, but or gave the call money.
Yeah.
Now, we're waiting to figure out if the call is, they're indicating that they're going to do Boston County first. And then, but we're begging and pleading because.
We're ready to go.
They start March.
Yeah.
There's a significant waiting gap for.
I shall weigh in and put my finger upon the scale. So,
Please.
yes, that's
But other than that, just following up with vendors and trying to get projects to move along, we're still waiting for to finish up the Hillsborough Tower analysis, so we can get told that hopefully it's still been good for the last 20 years. Probably.
yeah, just a lot of antennas on it. So, Chief, what's happening in the Sheriff's Office?
Just trying to wrap things up. Everything's been going okay.
Good deal. Yeah, we said this earlier, some wood to knock on here. It's been really weird on these weekends. It's relatively quiet and that scares me. I've not been doing this too long ago.
Yeah, that's a key word.
Well, just get it out in the open and let cut the tension when thing happens. All right. Well, from this chair, what do we have? For us, a lot of policy, like we talked about before, been going over. This agenda got too long for us to comfortably talk about the tiny home policy, but that will be on our next agenda, one way or the other. We will be talking about that. Speaking of not next agenda, next regular agenda, we're going to have to hold a special court. I got to ask you guys today if you want to hold it Friday or you want to hold it Monday. As you know, that we have to canvass the results of the general election. That's on us, and we have 7 to 11 days. The problem with it is this falls on the date at 5 o'clock today is the last day that overseas ballots can come in, soldiers, folks like that. So we can't canvass today until we give every last one of those an opportunity to come in. So in order to make sure all that happens, and we know that we sent some out, so we're just, and not all of them come back in. They never all come back in for whatever reason. But we will probably canvass this election either Friday or since the 11th day falls on Saturday, the next open business day would be Monday, the 18th. And so we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Otherwise, maintenance, we've had a couple of minor issues with air conditioning, which this is the time of year to have maintenance issues with air conditioning. Most of it's been warranted stuff, so we're dealing with that. Thankfully, we didn't find any new leaks. I've been notified that the roof project is complete down at 218 North Waco, the support services building. So that's nice to have that off the deck. We're still waiting for the final pieces of the puzzle for this chiller project. Chiller's up, chiller's running. Number one has some issues that are warranty issues. They're not huge by any means, but they need to be resolved. Getting the factory representatives out here to resolve them has been, well, just quite frankly, a pain. So keeps coming and going with that. Otherwise, we're going to talk about the burn ban in a little bit, so we'll hit ESD up at that time. Just a lot going on around the county, so be careful out in your travels, and we'll go ahead and move into open forum at this time. Is there anybody here to speak to the court about something that isn't on the agenda, or maybe something is on the agenda and you can't hang around to talk about it? Either way, if you would, this is your opportunity to speak to us. If you could limit your comments to about 3 to 5 minutes in duration, and as we respect you, please show respect to the court. It's too dry to whistle the Jeopardy tune this morning, so. Yes, ma'am. Can you come on up? I'm sorry, we're going to ask you to come up, not to put you on spot, but all the folks playing along at home, they can't hear way back there. So yes, ma'am, go ahead. What you got?
Yes, good morning. I'm Brady Johnson from Fort Worth,
Yes, ma'am.
and I'm here in regard to the Bragg Williams,
Marker.
the historical marker.
Yes, ma'am.
And we were wanting to know if it could be placed so that it would be ready to unveil on the 20th of January, 2025, which would be the anniversary of 106 years.
Okay, we think so. So we had Judge McGregor, Bob McGregor, who is the chair of the Historical Commission. He got me an email, I should say, last week about the requirements. Apparently, it's just a post we have to sink in the ground. But we needed to know that it had to be X number of feet away from something. So I don't see that's going to be a problem. I think we can handle that in-house too.
Is there a program that we can see that had been in the past that we can build a program on?
The county's never done it. So that's been the Historical Commission that puts those together. So unfortunately, the answer is no, we don't have a program for that. But I would reach out to the Historical Commission and Judge McGregor. He should be able to.
McGregor could probably do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, he'll not write it up for you.
He is an attorney, so I mean, it's.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was my question.
Yes, ma'am. We're happy to attend and help out. We've never done that before. So, but I know the Historical Commission does those kind of things, and maybe they'd be some assistance to you.
Okay, all right, thank
But yeah,
you.
we're shooting for that date. So we're hopefully going to have the pole set before the end of the year. And we don't know if we can drive it straight in the ground. We're going to have to put concrete. There's a few questions, but we think we'll set the pole before the end of the year. And then we'll wait till after the first of the year to actually put the marker on the pole.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Nice to see you, Ms. Johnson. Anybody else for the board? Yes, sir.
Martin Luther King Day, is that correct?
Yes, Martin Luther King Day. Yes, sir.
And it's also Inauguration Day?
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot going on that day. So, anybody else for open forum? Going once, going twice. We're going to move into the agenda, folks. All right. Now, I'm not going to be near as speedy as Commissioner Crumpton is, but here we are. We got first our consent agenda. We have action on minutes, action on invoices, action on the payroll, action on monthly report, revenue and disbursement, reserve record elected officials, training certificates. If there's any of that needs to be pulled off for individual discussion, please let me know. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion to approve. And you should have received emails from the treasurer's office like I did, but I like to kill trees, so I print them out.
Make a motion, please.
All right, we have a motion, a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry unanimously. That moves in the court order today. And our first quarter of the day is to discuss and or approve employee wage status changes for this date. You'll see that these are in multiple parts because of the way these packets came through. They are though all the same. So employee wage status changes, thank goodness. Remember back in October when that thing's like an instant. Here we are, there's no new hires and no terminations.
Better motion approved.
We got Tyler Dunlap. He added his FDO. Congratulations to Deputy Dunlap. That's great. Christian Tillman. He got his intermediate peace officer certificate. Good for him. Added FTO. Good deal. Mr. Vernon Busby, Oakland Sheriff's Office. He moved from investigator to patrol. Good luck with him. And Mr. Matthew Boyle in the District Attorney's Office corrected the account numbers. All this is there was a clerical or administrative error in the account numbers, and we've got that straightened out. So we have a motion, and there is a second. I heard.
Second.
There we go. I thought I heard it. I just couldn't remember where I heard it from. Any further discussion on employee wage status changes? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion shall carry unanimously. Moving back on, we're going to hold our first public hearing on the closure of Hill County Road 4352 South. So Hill County Road 4352 South, there's been a proposal. Has this been previously posted on the
Yes,
road?
yes.
We have posting. Sorry, I don't know why I looked at you.
I'll look at it.
43, go back that way.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. And so it got posted in accordance with time. Good
Yes.
deal. Is there anybody here to speak on either for or against either way, or just general questions about where is 4352 South? Where is this?
Where is it?
Yes.
That's up to Dallas Highway, right before you get to 2959. It goes off to the south.
Okay,
It's just up there where there's big high fence or
Yes, sir.
whatever. And it's, I guess it's a game range. They have, I don't know what all in there. And so they had bought the rest of the land and they just want to close the road, and keep people from. Because they had a bunch of camels and he said he had a $10,000 male camel back there.
so we don't have to maintain this with taxpayer funds.
No.
I move to approve.
That's the old Blair ranch or farm. It used to be back down in there. Long,
I don't know who owned it.
long time.
Okay. Anybody else for the, speaking of public hearing, either for or against? Awkward silence for a moment. All right, what we'll do then is we will please show this public hearing to be closed at 8:47 a.m. on this date. And we move along to number 4, which is discussion and or action. Okay, discussion and or action on the closure of Hill County Road 4352 South. Motion and a second to close. Is there any further discussion? Anybody that didn't want to speak up during that meeting?
Close and you can vacate.
You know, the order needs to say that for sure. And the action is just what we normally put on here, but correct. The formal order that we're going to need to file on the county clerk's record so that we can have it part of our roadmap system, it would be closed, abandoned, and vacate. You are correct. So. Yes, okay, it's a good deal. Good catch though. You see, we've been doing this a while. You're catching on. I'll let you do that when Larry doesn't want to. All right, in which case we have a motion and we have a second. All right, I'll call the question and all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion shall carry unanimously. All right, we're moving right along this thing. Next is our bonds, discussion of approved bonds. This morning, we only have 2 bonds, one from Jason K. Wells, the other for Arnulfo Roy Flores. And these are both for our juvenile probation officers.
Make a motion for it.
Motion a second to approve aforementioned bonds. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstention, the ayes have it and the noes know it. Number 6, discuss and approve an interlocal agreement between Hill County, Texas and Whitney Independent School District. Chris, you want to get into this one?
Real short and sweet, it is a interlocal agreement with the IC for emergency services in a disaster and emergency for the school district or for us, either way, it just gives both playing ground to be able to use their facility.
In which we have this with memorandum of understanding, if you will. This is actually called interlocal agreement with several other entities. It just helps us when our interoperability with those parties. And this is something that they have a new superintendent, Mr. Southern over at Whitney. And I think he's been a little more active on the front of these kind of things. So we're happy to help out and I would recommend it for approval. All right, so motion and a second to approve an interlocal agreement between Hill County and Whitney Independent School District. Is there any further discussion? None? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Just 12th day.
Judge, that has not gone through their
Yes, sir.
school council, but it is on Thursday.
We're good. All right, number 7, discuss and approve residential, non-residential contracts and interagency agreements with juvenile probation department. Gentlemen, you recall every year we go through this and we have to renew these contracts. Obviously, we do not have a juvenile correctional facilities where we use here in Hill County. So when we have a juvenile that we must maintain, we have to haul them out of the county. Now, we have the arrangement with Denton County that's worked out wonderfully and still does. Most of these are there just in case, because when you got to pick up a kid in the middle of the night and take it somewhere, we don't have time to convene a meeting. So the rest of these are folks that we may not use, but we do have agreements in place. So should the necessity become such that we need to use them if they are there. Chief, anything that you want to say about it?
No, that's exactly, these are kind of our backups for any of our contracts, and these specific ones are actually post programs, and so. What the state has allowed is, there are state dollars that have come down, and these particular facilities, if we utilize them, we have utilized a bed within that facility, we do not pay anything, the county does not pay a dime. And so just as an example, we approved the New Oasis County one in one of our previous ones, and I already have a juvenile in that. And he will be there for 9 months, and
Oh,
there will be
wow.
absolutely no cost to Polk County.
That's great. So glad to hear that.
But then we've got to get them to El Paso and.
Well,
and,
we hope never to have.
Lubbock or
We
whatever.
hope not, but well, we actually,
Amarillo.
yeah, we've actually been taken in Lubbock several times, so we've made that trip, and
It's a hike.
these are. I think specifically for these would be for any of those kids that have specific needs that we cannot address in a facility that might be closer. And so we just want to make sure we have the contracts available so that we can move kids as quickly as possible and not have them sitting in detention a long period of time.
Well, I think people should,
Yeah, people,
people should know that that's hauling to El Paso.
Yeah.
That's-
Yes,
And you gotta take them out there and bring them back for court. and
Yes, sir.
everything,
yes,
yeah,
sir.
it's a situation. It's a problem.
And that's a turnaround without anybody sleeping, is that correct?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No.
What we would do is that you're a transport officer, let's say if you go to El Paso, they're gonna go out the day before, get a night's sleep. We're not gonna put somebody in the car where somebody's been up all day to make a drive like that, because El Paso, what, 11 hours from here, 10, 11?
We done it for, well, sometimes we said 2 days.
Team drivers.
Yeah, and when we have like extremely long transports like that, the sheriff's office has been gracious to do those for them. If they're shorter, less than 3 hours, then our staff will still do those. We had to pick up a girl from Abilene just a few days ago, actually, so we had our 2 detention bed in Denton full. And we needed to detain a female, so we had to go to Abilene, so like picture of that following business day.
I'd just like to lay in a reporter and put that in the paper so that people can realize how much cost it is when they're paying their taxes for this tax paying time.
I'm happy to do an interview anytime.
Good
Y'all know I like to talk, so I'm happy to do an interview.
deal. All right, any further questions on this? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve residential, non-residential contracts. We have a motion and a second over here for precinct 1. That being said, is there any further discussions? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstention, motion carries. I noticed there's one in here that Judge Harris still needs to sign.
Yes.
Cool, good deal. All right, good deal. We have our monthly bank balances report for October 2024, and that monthly bank balance report, you'll find it in your packet. If you look, you'll see across all classes of funds that we have an opening balance of $8,386,344.64 and a closing balance of $8,422,227.78. That is the monthly bank balance report for October. Second. Motion second to approve. Was there any discussion? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. 2 places to sign, first page and second page. Number 9 is discuss and execute an interlocal agreement between the city of Whitney and Hill County. Note this document is previously approved and executed, but did not have the city of Whitney signatures. Has there been any changes in it? None whatsoever. We look forward to working with you guys.
Yes.
Good. All right, so is there a work project approval? I knew there'd be one here. So what we're looking at doing right now, is this the 1240? It goes by the school, correct?
Correct.
Okay, good deal. And what we're looking at doing is a possibility of maybe doing some work to that road. Can you tell me what you got?
We're looking for kind of a stopgap measure for the rest of the school year, we're gonna shake the shoulders up, get some of the potholes knocked down, and some of the schools out. We're gonna come back and widen the road.
Oh. Good deal.
But while we're doing that, we'll probably take it beyond the ISD property and down to property.
Okay, that makes sense.
We're gonna do the whole road.
Improve traffic flow through there. Good deal, good deal. And you guys obviously are good with that?
Yes, sir. Good. Man.
Yeah, by all means, anytime you want to speak up there. Yeah.
So I want to personally thank Commissioner Holcomb for helping us get through this project. He worked hand in hand with our Public Works Director, Chris Brennan. I want to say that we appreciate from the city's standpoint the cooperation of the county. We look forward to doing this more in the future.
Oh, yeah.
The city does not have the equipment that the county does. So we really appreciate the help and we look forward to working with the county. And we have some other projects we're currently working with Commissioner Crumpton on as well.
Okay.
So this is probably going to be coming back to you in other areas of Whitney. We're making some big strides over there, excuse me, over there, and some things that we haven't necessarily addressed before. In these interlocal agreements with the county are going to help us get to where we need to be. So thank you very much.
Any new business coming into Whitney that
Absolutely.
you can talk about?
Yeah,
Okay.
several.
Oh, good deal. I've heard some rumors, so I didn't know. Yeah.
Several. And
Awesome.
once we get these roads squared away, we're gonna have even more.
Oh, there you go.
You're not gonna need me on.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Let them fight that amongst themselves. So what is the action requested here today? Are we gonna reapprove this even though we previously approved it? Or are we gonna approve it with the new work orders and signatures? How would be the best way to show this in our records so that we're not confused later?
Well, we need to re-execute, I think, the interlocal agreement.
Okay.
And then we did not sign or approve the project approval.
Correct.
We're waiting on the city to make the choice on the options that they
Okay.
want to do.
Good deal. Well, then what I'm going to do is make a motion that we approve an interlocal agreement between the city of Whitney and Hill County, Texas, and approve a project approval between Hill County Precinct 1 and the city of Whitney. Oh, you don't give me a shot over here, man.
So you're
Good.
doing it as one motion?
Yes, one motion, but we're going to put both so that way when you got to research at a later date, we will find it in the record. For construction on Hill County Road, well, 1240, which part of that's in the city, part of it's out in the county. So that's my motion.
Second.
Gotcha.
It sounded good to me. Talk loudly into the device. Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions? Before you guys leave, can we get you to sign? Oh, you guys already signed. Okay, cool. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to say November because that's when we signed it. And that's the project approval. I need everybody to sign it, pass that one around. This is the interlocal agreement, and I'm going to put my John Hancock to it. And it doesn't need to be passed around. There you go, ma'am. That one. And this is designated approval, project approval, okay. Sorry, this is just the resolution from the city of Whitney. I'm going to follow up on it.
How many millions am I gonna make out of this?
Yeah. Okay, look at it, accepts dedication. Appropriate.
Hopefully, we'll better.
Yeah.
Well, oh, name Wildcat Drive. There you go. That's great. Okay, it's 1240. It's Wildcat Drive now like that.
Interesting story there, right, David?
Indeed.
Have that, you know,
So in 2008, they actually named the road Wildcat Drive and never executed it. So we rededicated it through resolution so we can track it.
it looks like they're gonna have like 1,800 feet.
They only had 1,216 feet instead of the full road was center.
Right, additionally, probably was acquired and never went back and.
I don't want to be that guy, but we might want to look at how the road number is numbered in your resolution. The road that we're talking about, what's the number on it?
1240.
What is 2140?
That is a scrivener's error.
That could be correct. Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. Yes. All right. All right, good deal. Number 10 was the project approval, which we took care of above in a single motion. So forgive me, we'll do it that way. Next time, like elbow or something. I don't have enough coffee in me yet.
I'm not gonna
Just,
get the judge.
it's I'm okay with it personally.
To.
Yeah, everybody else does. It'd be a bit of an anomaly for one of my life not to have it occasionally. Mhm. All right, number 11 is discuss and approve the acquisition of a 2021 Caterpillar, I believe it says for Cat 140-15 maintainer. It's got the serial number and the purchase price of $169,000 for a 4-year buyout. This is a maintainer that you already have in your inventory. Have been using, a good maintainer, and this is the buyout at the end of a lease purchase agreement.
Correct.
All right, good.
And I had the machine praised by Caterpillar,
Okay.
praised $240,000.
Oh, wow, good
So
deal.
we have a likely That seemed like a right thing to do.
I think so. You can get a lot of years.
It's been well maintained and I'm actually trimming the guys on it and the next agenda item is a new.
Okay, cool. Well, let's tackle number 11.
Make a motion.
There's a motion.
So
Motion second to approve the acquisition of a 2021 Cat 140-15 maintainer, serial number EB 200-400. Purchase price is $169,100 and it's a 4-year buyout. So this is the end of a lease purchase agreement that the county had previously entered into with this machine. Anything further? I'll call question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Thank you very much.
how many hours you have in the machine? 1,500.
How many hours can you get out of motor grader out of curiosity? Like 10,000 on a tractor, it gets to be pretty up there.
1,500 ain't nothing.
Okay.
It's barely broke in.
Okay, I was curious about that. That's good. Okay, number 12, discuss and approve the acquisition of a new 2024 Cat 140-15 maintainer, serial number 201318.
Yeah, nice.
Bowling alley. They have a wrestling match up there, you know? I don't know. Anyway, the purchase price on this maintainer is $346,000. I want some more of them number 11 maintainers. These number 12 maintainers getting expensive. Purchase price $346,024.45 on an 8-year lease purchase. Okay, good deal. All right, cool.
Second.
Susan, did you have anything on that? Did you get what you needed from Caterpillar?
He sent the contract with the Sourcewell, guide on the Sourcewell contract. That I didn't know, I had talked to the judge about instead of maybe financing it with Caterpillar, perhaps putting together several other pieces of equipment, because I know Crumpton has some trucks coming in. I wasn't sure Scotty was wanting to finance his, he had some trailers and.
Are you gonna pay them outright?
If we had a bulk purchase of over $1 million, the capital would give us a lower interest rate.
So did we get there to the threshold or not?
Well, it depends. We don't have everything. I hadn't visited with everyone to see with your two things, there's 500,000 right there. Crumpton trucks.
Grumpy, what are you looking at getting away with trucks?
Sorry.
How much you gonna pay for trucks this year? Fair enough. Let's, maybe,
Yes, guys, you got two on order.
Yeah, truck, yes.
Or how much is that?
They're 267,000, something like that.
A piece?
for the pair.
Plus
Again,
the,
plus the gate.
plus we did finance the ACO, health and safety and the Brooks trucks. Anyway, I had kind of put together a rough $1 million.
Wherever we can get the best interest rate is what I'm for personally. So wherever we can get that at. So if after, why don't we sit down after court, talk about it, and see what we can come up with, before we all end the day today. Not all of us sit down in the back room. Each one of you individually go speak to the.
That would affect your action on number 11, 12.
Well, we're approving the acquisition. We didn't approve the financing, but you're right. We did say for a 4-year buyout and it does say for 8. So I see your interpretation of that and that can be argued fairly. So the question becomes, what kind of deal are you going to get from CAT on this? Are they going to carry the financing?
Well, this machine is comparable to a new John Deere 772. And it's $100,000 cheaper.
Yeah, no problem. The interest rate, what are they going to charge you to carry that item?
6.9.
The deal is 6.9.
6.99 on the new one, and I don't know.
Is the old one about the same? Okay.
The old 7.
And then what did Stephanie Cates over at Government Capital quote us?
It was under 6. I forwarded that.
You say percent.
In front of me. I could look.
I'm more concerned with the first one, whether or not the bids continue on the finance through. Yeah.
That's a good question. I have not seen the paperwork on that.
Cause they may have built them, I'll ask them.
So before we go into, let's go back to number 11 real quick. Do we want to amend the motion that passed in order to say,
Can we do that?
we can amend the motion? Now, what I'm trying to think is what the way to do this is the best way. We're trying to give ourselves two different options here, but the court's saying, hey, you can do it in one. I really don't like that one because we don't follow up in the record on it. So 100 years from now, you look at it and not understand exactly what we did. Trying to think what the best way to do this is to give him the flexibility and not push this off for another meeting because you need these now, as I understand it.
Yeah, I have to execute the buyout. That comes up on the 20th of
December. Would anybody gonna be upset if we push this to our next meeting? Give us time to do the research. Not trying to slow you down. I know you got things you need done. Yeah.
Can we put it?
Crumpton said get even. Yeah, we're gonna meet, probably gonna meet Friday afternoon. We're probably gonna meet Friday afternoon. Yeah, for the
Canvas.
canvassing the vote.
Yeah, that will kill.
They give us, if we, tell you what, I would like to make a motion that we retract our previous order approved by this court just a minute ago to approve the acquisition of 2021 cat maintainer. My motion is to vacate that order.
We doing both of them?
Well, we never took action on the second one. Number 12, we've not done anything on yet. And then number 12, I'm just going to ask that we table it until this Friday so that we've got time to clarify, because if we can save over 1%, we really need to figure that out, do that. Yeah, Friday afternoon, we get time to do notice on it, because right now, like I said, we're not gonna do it Friday morning, because I know how you guys are on Thursday nights, you wild men.
I won't be here, Brad.
That's okay. I'll forgive you this one time.
Okay.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Just outright purchase it without leasing it for the 4 years. You can't just buy it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we'll just put it on for Friday. We're gonna meet Friday late morning. And get here because we have to canvass the vote. We have to meet anyway.
Yes. Purchased it outright instead of doing a 4-year buyout.
Oh, clear finance.
Why is it there's some merchants they have?
Not that, but I had finished the buyout.
Still think you need to make sure that the price is the same.
That's what I'm checking on.
Okay. So my motion stands then to vacate the previous order to acquire a 2021 Cat 140 maintainer and to table this action item until our next meeting, which would be this Friday.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any further discussion on the motion to vacate? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Gentlemen, I'll ask that we take no action on number 12, seeing how we're going to get some research done on that, come back. Number 13, very important program here in Hill County is Texas Feeding Texans. It's our home delivered meal program for grant year 2025. You may be more familiar with this at home as known as Meals on Wheels program. This resolution authorizes a county grant program. We pay them an amount of $10,000, which we previously budgeted for this year, and they use those dollars to draw down matching dollars and additional from the Texas Department of Agriculture for this program. So I'm asking you guys to ratify a resolution authorizing the county grant for program year 2025. And this grant has been made to Meals on Wheels Waco is what the name doing business as.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second to ratify a resolution authorizing the county grant program for Texas Department of Texans Feeding Texans Home Delivered Meal Grant Program.
Sure.
There you go. All right, I'll call the question. If there's no discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Know this, that Jim over here has delivered meals for a number of years, and you can attest to this. This is some of the only human contact some of these poor folks have. It gets difficult to get out, I guess, when you get a little bit older. And so I think it's a great program. We're checking up on people in our community, and I appreciate the commissioners always supporting this program. All right, number 14, discuss and approve regional equipment transfer and memorandum of understanding between Heart Texas Council of Government subrecipient and Hill County, Texas, receiving jurisdiction agency.
I could have sworn we did this a year and a half ago when we got it.
I kind of thought so too, but I can't find it.
Yeah, I can't find it, check with the clerk's office, can't find it, this is just the, Hot Call gave us that command communications trailer back.
So
We
got it from COG years ago.
I thought.
We gave it back to COG. Now we got it back. It's been, I will tell you, I'm, got a motion to do this.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, okay. Motion, is there a second? Just on discussion, this has been a well-used asset, especially in some of the fires at Lone Fire last year. A lot of these wildfires have been a great thing as a command post that's mobile. We still have the van when you have multiple fires going on at once in the county. You got to be in more places one time. So this has worked out quite well. And I appreciate you guys allowing us to do this. That's my discussion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. And, I will sign all of that afterwards because I can see that's going to be a nightmare. Number 15, observe and record chapter 59 reports. We have chapter 59 reports prepared by our county auditor, Ms. Susan Swilling. And these reports you will find are for different agencies, but they all go to the Attorney General of the state of Texas. And we have Mr. Holmes's report here as well. And this should be Mr. Miller's report, Constable John Miller, Precinct 1. We have the Constable Precinct 2 report. We have Mr. Larry Armstrong, Hill County Constable Precinct 3 report, and Constable Precinct 4's report. And those are the Chapter 59 reports for your approval today.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there further discussion regarding Chapter 59 reports?
The amended sheriff report in there.
You know what? Yeah, I may have overlooked it. Let me look and see. No, ma'am, I've got county attorney and the constables. I don't have the sheriff one. We'll get that one next time, ma'am. Okay, well, good deal. With motion in a second. If there's no further discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Any abstentions? Motion is going to carry unanimously. Date and time. Okay. Okay, there we go. Number 16, I don't know how many phone calls I've had about this, but we need to talk about it. Discussion and or an action presenting the burn ban. So last meeting in October, you guys ratified the burn ban I had put on 7 days earlier because from the beginning of October through about the 15th, we had like 35 wildland fires. I can say that fires have decreased. At that time, we had the fires and then we were in a drought conditions. The Keith Brown Drought Index had us above the magic number of 575. Where are we at this morning?
Yesterday, they had to lose today's at 510.
Yeah, so we went back down below 500 for a day or two. Now we're going back up. We had some rains that we missed over the weekend that were supposed to be a lot more than they were. What we're doing is having a discussion with the public is what should we do? Leave the fire, leave the burn ban on, or do we need to rescind it? And I'm going to ask ESD number 1, Mr. Ken Goins, what do you think?
Yes, we're going into the probably the worst season we have right now. We have green grass above ground. The state is very nice. We came in and mowed the tall stuff down now it's dead. We ought to do a hard freeze just before long. And when it dies, then everything is not green anymore. So we're susceptible to a fire. With the winds blowing out of the south, we start burn up part of the South County. And if it's out of the north, we can burn up part of the North County. So I would suggest, or I would like to see the burn ban remain on at least until December to see if we get any moisture. Because we've had moisture all over the county, but not enough to get us lit.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that opinion.
Thank you.
Get a lot of heat.
Oh, I don't mind being in the kitchen. You know about it, mate. Chris, what's your thoughts?
Nothing says we can't put another one on.
No, that's true. I got you. Gentlemen, what are you guys hearing out, constituents? I've got people calling me about it. Now, no one seems to be mad that it's on. They just want to know, is it on, is it off? I hate a burn ban. I do, because policing them is very, very difficult. And everybody's got a good excuse on why they lit a pile on fire. They didn't know. Our sheriff's office has been good about writing tickets. Fire departments have been pretty good about not disregarding, even if they're told to, showing up to things that are, burn ban related. So administratively, as far as burn bans go, this has not been bad by any means. It's just, what are our thoughts? I will tell you, I've heard from two different volunteer fire departments, and they both asked that we leave it in place. So,
Y'all had a lot more rain back this direction than we've had on the south end. It's dry.
okay.
It's dry.
All right. Well, I'm hearing, well, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing taking no action around this table, just leaving this thing, let it ride out.
It's me.
Okay, well, there we go. So we'll take no action on rescinding the burn ban. The burn ban will stay in place until its next regular meeting, or it rains, something happens. All right, we're gonna move on to number 17, discuss and approve purchase for replacement vests for the Hill County Sheriff's Office. Gentlemen, these are ballistic vests. You'll see there's a quote in here. You have a customer quote for Rise Tactical Carrier OD Green, Quick Release, Ultra Premium. There's a lot of stuff there. I'm not gonna read out names, but you can see the names of the four people, forgive me, that these vests are for. Some of this terminology I do not understand. What is Truth Snap, 308 standard?
Okay, so these are the vests that you'll see some more patrol deputies wearing the green ones.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with the sheriff-elect in regards to this, because I didn't know if he was gonna go in a different direction, but these are vests, these are replacing vests that are currently expired.
Yeah.
So these vests are capable of stopping a 5.56 round.
Oh, wow.
Or 7.62 by 39. So with that plate.
That's what that means.
With that plating, yes.
Wow.
So, and they're comfortable to wear. And so that's just the vest.
Okay.
And, all the attachments and stuff like that too. So.
Yeah.
Working in the county, there's a lot of bigger guns than what you normally face.
Yeah.
So we went to these a while back. They are expensive, but
I think comes to our deputy's life.
it's worth it. So,
yeah, it is.
Now, because I didn't know what Hunter was gonna do, if he chooses to go to a different color later down the road, they can just buy the covers. They go over.
Oh, okay.
So they're still viable.
So you don't have to replace the whole vest, just the cover if you need to. Okay, good deal.
So those plate carriers.
They're a combination. They're load bearing, so you have your soft body armor in there, and then there's a side, yes. You can even up armor it to armor piercing.
Good God.
Then it gets.
What does one of those vests weigh? Just a curiosity question. It's got nothing to do with this, I guess.
I have never put one on the scale, but it depends how you kit it up too.
Yeah.
But the way that these are manufactured, it really does take a lot of the weight off of your hips.
Okay.
Which, anybody that's been a cop for a while can tell you, our lower backs, after years of wearing this, becomes a problem. So, but they are very comfortable, the guys though.
Okay, good deal. And the reason this is going through, obviously, since the current sheriff, Watson, will be going out in December, we're required to approve any amount that goes over 1/12 of their annual budget. This will slightly exceed that, but again, in consultation with the incoming sheriff and basic need for officer safety, I would recommend that we go ahead and approve this.
And I will say this, that he's going to need to come back to you once he takes over, because we've got some other vests they're going to be expiring very soon too.
Okay, good deal. All right, questions, gentlemen? Have a motion, a second, to approve the purchase of 4 vests from Angel Armor, 4 bulletproof vests and their accoutrement from Angel Armor. I want to see accoutrement spelled just right in there. All right, in which case, anything further? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Number 18 is something I have never seen happen in all these years, and I was waiting for it. And it was discuss and or approve the cancellation of 2 off-system bridge replacement projects. Yeah. Anybody get notice of this one? Okay. So apparently you did such a good job of repairing it and I don't want to call it a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, but you obviously have sutures there, that they now are saying we're not going to replace these bridges at this time. What did they give you a reason for it? Because they just sent me an email that signed this.
This is, they went out and looked at them and the repairs that were made. They think it's got
24, 21?
No, not that.
No, not that, no, not that.
These are two that were.
They're not even let yet for contract.
I think maybe one of them's your precinct, Martin,
Down there for Larry Dagger's road.
Well, here, I'll tell you exactly which ones they are, guys. Bear with me.
this one's up more by.
They're not mine,
Um,
not my bridge.
Not the ones that we were already working on. But there were some repairs made, and Texas looked at them, and they think bridges have 15 to 20 years more life on the repairs.
Sorry, it's pulling a DocuSign up. It's slow as I'll get up.
You got a county road number?
I'm working on it.
Well, the two bridges in mine, we haven't done anything to them, so one of them is just a railroad car.
So here's the deal. One of them is County Road 1439 at Aquila Creek. 14th County Road 1439 at Aquila Creek.
So that's yours and mine.
I didn't do anything to it.
Okay. Okay, and have no root birch authority over here. Sometimes I just am curious about what happens. And the second one is County Road 4149 at Island Creek tributary. Island Creek.
That's a little bitty rinky dink deal, but it's horrible. And it's about as wide as this table.
That does mean.
And we haven't done anything at all with it.
And that means it, and so what they're saying, I'm just reading the email. Good morning, following up on the below email string, you should be receiving a DocuSign from Refist this morning, which is the first I ever got. I didn't notice any of this. Canceling these two projects, this email is advance notification of the DocuSign. If you do not receive an email request by the end of the day, please let me know. Talks about County Road 1439 at Aquila Creek and County Road 4149 at Island Creek tributary. In short, the county performed repairs at these locations to extend the lifespan of the bridge, and we will continue to monitor the routine inspections. But you're saying that you guys didn't perform any?
No, not on my watch.
Clean the ditches out.
I don't think we need to take any action on this until we get some clarification. And I will tell you this, it does say at the bottom of this, another email here, we have the potential to move up White Rock Creek in their place if we can clear the right of way and utilities.
Which I should have done.
That'd be May of 26 is what they're talking about. So, whatever you guys think. So what do you?
We ought to go look at it and see what we've done.
I'm real curious about that. So
Well, the one in White Rock Creek, that's the one that's just an old train car, right?
is that what that is? That's no flatbed car?
No flatbed for it, there's not any thing inside of it, so you just drive off.
We're really talking that bridge up a lot over there. Okay. Well, let me tell you what, let's table this. All they can do is get mad at me. So table it and bring it back. I was trying to be curious what you guys have done.
I would imagine Ross is pretty good about getting the truck kind of looking at it. So I'll get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Give them a holler, we'll get it looked at. Sounds good. All right, moving along to number 19, number 19, discussion and approve setting a price on culvert permits. Gentlemen, we approved the culvert setting policy, the paperwork that goes along with it, but we did not approve a price. What are we going to charge for culvert setting policy?
We talked about it.
We did talk about it, we just didn't approve it. Yeah, we did what we need to do, so.
It's administrative, it's not a lot of paperwork.
So I'm looking at the kind of the process like this. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. So first, somebody out in the county, one of your precincts is going to say, hey, I need to put a culvert in. They're probably going to contact you first. Yes. And then you're going to go call down here to 911 addressing. They're the ones that have the policy. They're going to go talk to 911 and they're going to send them a form. And then they're going to have to get with you again to go, okay, this is exactly where the culvert is. It needs to be this diameter and X number of feet long, because the policy leaves some of that. We have some base minimums, but the commissioners can require more than that in the policy. Well, once you sign off on that, they can go back and file that document with 911. They run it into their database, they keep it, and then the culvert's installed, but you have to then sign off, I think on the bottom of that, and the last thing. So you're gonna go back and forth 3 times. You are with these folks as commissioner at minimum, I see it.
Is there a signature required? When they call me and go out and call us and we go out and look at it, we give them the specs.
We need to provide it in writing, yes, sir.
Okay.
We're gonna have to provide that in writing. I'm afraid if we just say, oh, I put a culvert this size, first person's gonna go, oh, no, you said something totally different. You know, some developer is gonna be, oh, no, you said this is fine, now you changed your mind. I think getting all of that in writing, have it reduced to that policy
So
that.
they'll have another final inspection and some.
Yes, sir, make sure that they actually did what they said they were gonna do. That's my inclination. So it's not like a one-step process like you see with our. A shorter process, like, I don't call it one step, that's a misstatement. A shorter process like it is with 911 addressing signs or that kind of stuff.
We're gonna put that on. Permanent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, all that'll go online. We just need to adopt what we're gonna charge for it.
Collecting it, and software, is it identifiable between a sign versus a culvert?
Karen, I asked her last week to look into that. She'll get back to me. She hasn't yet. I'm sure she's busy with other things. She had concerns with the credit card payments on how it was going to be done. At one point, there was maybe a thought that we would combine everything into one, but then she said, no, that'd be a nightmare. Don't do that. So, you know.
Maybe one thing account, we just need to the difference between sign versus culvert.
And hypothetically, how would be the best way to do that in your mind?
So I don't know for software, I've never seen it, but I
Either.
think that she sends me, it identifies exactly what it is, so if they could just add a drop down for culverts, I think that would work from our side.
Okay.
Susan, do you have any thoughts on that? Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
It has a drop down for it, that would be fine. And I can work with you.
What you get there?
you recommend a culvert 24 inches.
Yes, sir.
All right, you say this is what you put in.
Mhm.
You get one of these rains that 3, 4, 5 inch rains, and that culvert don't work. Are you responsible for that culvert?
You
Then
very
you said, well, you said this culvert would work and it didn't work.
You could very well be, yes,
So
sir.
are we gonna be responsible to change that culvert?
Well, if we gave them the wrong culvert size in the first place,
Well-
then yeah, we're going to watch it, make sure we don't
One
do
of
that.
these-
Just put 48 in.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that way.
The road, we put working the road out coming down.
Those segments are gonna be real pricey on those.
Yeah, you know, and just saying what if.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a lot of what ifs. And what if we caught fire? What if it flooded? What if it was, massive hailstorm beat the ends in? As an example, that could happen if we didn't do our job right. If we told them something, it was too small and it blew out, man, that's on us though. We should have known better to do that because we've got resources that'll help us avoid that. NRCS has previously offered and has come out and done it before, helped us with hydrology. We got a place that, hey, there's a question here. Maybe it's time to go, we need a hydrological engineer to look at this and tell us what's going to happen. There's times when we need to get the engineers involved.
It sure wouldn't hurt to have that as a backup in your file anyway.
Exactly, but most of your road culverts, I would say probably 95% of them are never gonna need that, but there are a few places out there that, and it's a little iffy in the first place. So on those, I would say, hey, we're gonna need some professional help engaging how much water flows through this, where's it gonna go, what's gonna happen? But the idea of having you approve the install is to keep that from happening.
Just add-
Be right.
Being right's overrated, but it's good.
Not responsible for it, right?
Okay, that's the act of God, we can use that out clause, can't we?
Always have that caveat.
Yeah.
Well,
$100, is that too? I'm just throwing a number out. Is that gonna cover the administrative cost? And I don't actually know. I don't have a clue. I'm just taking a guess right now. Well, do you think it'll cover it?
I'll get 75.
You get 75 in the middle.
split the difference.
Yeah. All right, so they're gonna split the baby.
75?
Yeah, all right.
Make a
And,
motion to do 75.
okay, there's a motion. Is there a second? Motion second to set a culvert setting policy permit at $75. The idea being, we're going to get some history under this program since we've never done it before. We can come back and amend either up or down. If it turns out that this is way easier than we were imagining and it doesn't take 15, 20 minutes, we could always go down. But if we come back and find out this is taking 2 or 3 hours, okay, we can go up. Your thoughts, sir? Any? Good. All right, motion a second to set the culvert setting permit at a $75 charge. Is there any further discussion on this?
Yeah, Rachel. What do you think the turnaround time is on getting credit card set up on the back end and getting the policy and permit online?
So I just, I haven't physically seen her software ever, so I mean, working with other offices, maybe 2 or 3 weeks to build. And then we need to test and then go live, so I would say maybe a month. I mean, I'm just guessing, I don't know if I get over there.
When will this take place?
When you want to start?
And I could be, it could be more, it could be less.
2028.
Gonna be a little sooner than that, Commish.
Can we do it and hard copy
No,
until then?
no, because she doesn't have a way to manually key in and identify what that payment's for. Her system only lets her pay copies. And then my office, we don't take any payments because I'm not a fee office. I just collect from offices.
Mhm.
So we have no way to do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, I would imagine, yeah.
And I'm just looking here this afternoon. Work it. I can go over there this afternoon and get that.
Okay, so, what I'm hearing is, Karen, you in there? Nah, she's just trying to fake us out,
She probably answered my text message.
probably so. You hate to do that to people, but sometimes, yeah. There she is, Karen. She turned her microphone on, but maybe. Huh. Well, we can't hear her, so that is what it is. So let's talk about that. When do you guys want this to go into effect? I mean, all honesty.
It's already in effect, right?
The policy is, yeah, there's no fee for it. We set the fee for it just now. So now the fee's there. So that all being said, how do we collect payment on it? It's the administrative end of it. And the question is, can you take both credit cards and check? We can take checks right now. You can take checks and money orders right now. I don't think anybody wants me to say you can take cash out loud. I don't think you want to say that because that's something to do. But what we can do for right now is take checks and money orders for the culverts only. Hard paper, and then when we get the point of sale system.
Yes.
Okay, point of sale system corrected. To take credit cards, we can do that, but just let people know right now, it's going to be check or money order. Oh, Commissioner Lake wouldn't buy our microphone, you cheap son of a gun.
I'll show you a few dollars.
Yeah. So yeah, we can make it effective immediately to answer the question. It's just gonna have to be check or money order right now until we get the credit card part of it going. Cool, all right.
And the website will be for the permit.
We can go ahead and put the.
We're gonna put it on the website, yes. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna put it on the website. I wanna put it somewhere close to the other permits so that's grouped well, and I don't want to speak off the top of my head without reviewing that. But there's where the 911 permit is, the floodplain 911 permit. I don't remember what tab that's under.
It should be under other offices, 911 addressing, I believe.
And so put the culvert policy underneath that.
I'm not sure if we have the culvert policy, last time.
Could we put it?
It's not.
It's not on there. No, it's not on there yet, but could we put it under that?
Certainly.
Okay. So it'd be same place you go to find your 911 address, you permit, you same place. Yeah, just try to make it easier to navigate.
And that pays very quick, that maybe a couple of days. I didn't realize they were that quick.
Okay, cool.
So.
What we'll do then is just let the public know that, hey, we're taking checks and money orders right now, and hopefully in a week or so, we'll have the credit card end of it online too, after making changes to the point of sale system. Good deal. What you got?
How quick could we do that?
Do what?
Today?
I can get it online. Yeah, get it online after court. Yeah, if I can keep commissioners out of my office, I get time to work and do some stuff. All right, so we got some answers to the questions. Thank you very much. So we have.
Got a motion, got a second.
Okay, and we just need to make a call to question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Yes, ma'am. I got a copy. I'll send it. But yeah, she already got it. It got sent to her. So I'll send it again. That's fine. Okay, so number 20. This is something we've talked about for some time. I need to bring it to you and have conversations. We have a card system, a access entry system on the buildings. The AgriLife, the Covington Street have the same system, and we are in the process of converting other buildings to that system. It's not going to be cheap. One of our first guinea pigs down here was 218 North Waco, because I got a lot of the technical gurus down there. If anybody's going to be the beta testers, it's going to be them. They know the terminology and who to cuss and phone numbers to call to get that done. That being said, Chris went out, Mr. Jackson went out and got us several bids, and the lowest bid was about $10,037. And that's Crispin Cable. It was the cheapest, who are the people who did both Covington Street and the AgriLife building. And that would be basically, you're going to have these electric strike kit for the latch bolt locks. And there's 5 of those. Access control, fail safe, power supply, 2-door controller, connected access portal, 8-port switch, wire, labor, that kind of stuff. The basics of this is they're going to have all outside doors, and by that 2 outside doors, the south side door and the front door.
So there should be an amended quote, because we went down to 4 doors, the back exterior door, the front exterior door, and then the 2 doors going into the records area.
I think this is it. I think this is,
For 9,000.
it's $9,687.93. The financial impact, we've had 10 grand because there's going to be about $350 to lock grounds locksmith on top. So the Christian Cable is $9,687.93, but another $350 grounds locksmith. And did Christian Cable, there could be $100, $200 in additional parts needed, but doesn't know at the moment until they get to the install phase. So trying to give you a heads up on what we're looking at. We have the money. We did not budget specifically for this project. We do have money in capital outlay to do this. I will tell you, if you gentlemen approve this, the next building I'm moving on is the courthouse. And so that we can start having a single point access system, so we can tell who came in, when, where. It's not spread out, and it'll be easier to kind of control access to some of these buildings. Yes, sir, go ahead.
So this isn't the right number.
No, that's not the right number. The right number is one on the first page. We got the wrong sheet back here. That one's 11,000. That was when you did the 5 doors. We went down to 4 doors, Chris said. So that brings down to 9,600. This is way more expensive than we anticipated it would be. We don't think that the courthouse will be near as expensive simply because of this. There's already the wiring and the mag locks on these doors because there is a system here. But what you got to do is basically one computer, one head, one controller panel for 2 doors. Just the way these other things set up. So we don't have to go through and rewire everything here. We're just going to have to change the heads up on that in order to do the access to this building. Ultimately, I can see us doing this to almost all of our buildings. And that includes 505, it includes Huron, and anybody else that wants it. If the sheriff's office wants that, that's their choice. We could do that as well. But our goal is to try to improve security through understanding who's coming and going and what times they're coming and going. And frankly, it'll allow us to some degree to know who's in the building should we have an event of some sort.
We're gonna do this in the remodel Covington.
What's that? We already did that at Covington. Okay. Yeah, Covington, it's already in Covington, it's already in AgriLife. Yeah, it's a system we already bought for those 2. We're just putting 218 support services on that system. Okay. Yeah. Yes, we're looking at replacing that door. It's warped. They're $10,000 per door. They're insane. Yeah. So these wooden doors on the outside of the courthouse, they're expensive as all get out. I'm actually made a phone call. I need to follow up on it a couple weeks ago with the local cabinet maker about, hey, could you guys make this door? Because the doors on the south side do it, but not as bad. The doors on the east side, in the summer, top of the door curves out. And then in the winter, it comes back in. But every year, it doesn't come back in as far as it curved out. You'll notice that we had a local machine shop make us an adjustment of their spring loads for that plate. But really, we're at the point now that that door keeps warping, and we're going to have to do something about it. I'm just trying not to spend 10 grand on a single door. Yeah, there ain't nothing that's building cheap, that's for sure. So, but anyway, yes, sir. The goal is to put everything on the same system. We paid for the majority of that system when we did Covington and AgriLife, and now it's just the next step on this one. I would recommend that we allot that $10,000, 10,020. Okay, Justin, you got to put your glasses on. $10,037.93 for this project. That includes the price to Crispin Cable and Mr. Brown's locksmith for rekeying some things. Okay, and we have a motion and a second. Then this will be paid out of the non-departmental capital outlay fund, where we do have money for these kind of projects. So, all right, thank you, gentlemen. Any further discussion regarding this? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Number 21 is a plat for Cleveland Estates. And Cleveland Estates has gone through the review committee previously. This is a property of total of 9.115 acres that they're dividing into 9 lots, which is very close up in your neck of the woods, Commissioner, off County Road 1446 and County Road 1449. This is plats. There we go. So this is the one where they're dividing them all into lots that are just over an acre, and it's gone through previously. They had a couple of minor changes they had to make to Cleveland Estates that was signed off after a review by our county surveyor and engineer.
So what did they do about the flooding issue on this side?
I don't know. Let's see. This is the one that's off 1449 and County Road 1446. Which ones will be? Oh, those will be.
They might have changed the entrances, right, where they had one entrance for 2 lots.
I believe that to be the case. That's what those circles there denote. No, it's
They didn't change that, because we didn't have enough room.
so all this is going.
Sides of the lots to work on the ditches.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to maintain it because the front of those lots are only how many feet apart are
They
they?
didn't change that.
Well, then I guess that's a no-go. All right, do you say no? If you're approved, thank you. No. All right, no action. We're gonna move along, bless you, to discuss and approve preliminary plat for Putridge Edition. That was a preliminary plat for Cleveland Estates. It's a preliminary plat for Putridge Edition. So Putridge Edition, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not getting that wrong. These are some folks that have a piece of property, 10 acres down off of Hill County Road 2205 at Aquila. And what they're looking at doing on this one is, this has previously come before the development plat. When we say approved by the development committee, no, that means it just meets with our rules. Doesn't mean that, hey, we have to do this or that. It meets with the rules the commissioners have singled out and anything else we can find. So this one, the 2205 off the 2200 down there, it's right across from private road 220.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
It's Susan.
Mhm.
She bought the property a couple of years ago. And my understanding, she's separating some acreage out of it for her son.
Okay, so one lot is going to be lot number 1 is 4.8868 acres and lot number 2 be 4.814 acres.
Yeah.
So, okay.
10-acre tract she bought at one time. Years ago.
And again, this is just a preliminary plat. It doesn't appear to me that any road construction is going to be necessary. This fronts, both lots front 2205, both have more than the minimum 60-foot frontage. One's 199.74 feet, one's 306 feet.
The road is so narrow and so flat, they don't even need a culvert put in the road.
Really? Okay. And she didn't tell me that. I'm having an affidavit, so yeah. But yeah, you're under the rules we have currently there. Yeah. That's a different story. Anyway, and then they have their dedication of the front 30 feet from center line of the road for future road purposes, in case you make that Interstate 35. Okay, so is that a motion to approve a preliminary plat? There's a motion to approve a preliminary plat for Putridge Estates.
Susan.
Yes, so Susan and Fred. All right, nothing further. We get a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, all opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. Number 23, discuss and approve resolution, Texas Indigent Grant Commission. This is the formula grant that we go through every single year. And I'm gonna get you the corrected one of these. This formula grant is basically, we apply, they give us a smattering of money back. They don't give us much anything, but it's something that we get from the defense. So I make a motion that we approve a resolution for the Texas Indigent Defense Commission grant for fiscal year 25. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. Motion carries.
We don't have any.
No, right, not in front of me. Discussion, number 24, discussion action on letter of participation between Hill County and Cisco regarding inmate food procurement. This is another avenue. People have previously come to us. We've talked with what is Mr. Shane Hooten's title? I don't want to give him the wrong title.
Lieutenant in the jail.
Okay, Jail Lieutenant Hooten's come to us with this, and this Cisco Foods you guys may be familiar with. They run a program called Vizient Supply LLC, And basically, Johnson County went to this a while back and they're telling us they're saving something like over 20% on their food. So, jail food's always a concern, so what this participation agreement would allow us to do would allow the jail to use them as one of their vendors for jail food.
Make a motion.
Motion and second to approve. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I appreciate the jail being forward thinking on this and trying to do what they can to make it easier on the taxpayer. So in which case, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Number 25, discussion, take action on expenditures of sheriff-elect. You guys are probably well aware, been here doing this long enough, that there's certain classes that the sheriff is going to be able to take before he gets to be sheriff. The same thing for JP, same thing for constables. What we're doing is just formally approving those expenses for him to get those education classes before he takes office January 1st. And I make the motion. I don't know. This reason is not on here. Yes, a couple of $100.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah, they're not terribly expensive. We just even if it was a single penny, because he's not technically an employee yet, he's going to be, we still have to approve those funds. So it is something that the amount is such, it would never come on our radar normally. It's just because we're doing it before he's sworn in as sheriff. Is when we have. Okay, yes, ma'am, Ms. Susan.
Also, besides the education for the purchase of this badge, something about the
You mentioned that, and that's the reason we said expenses instead of just education. Thank you for reminding me. That we're going to get his badge. The sheriff's office is one of those that they swear in at midnight because the nature is that office never closes. We swore Rodney in at midnight, and we've sworn every sheriff in about midnight, and we're going to swear Mr. Barnes in about midnight afternoon as well, or at least one of you guys is. No, we're not issuing guns to sheriffs anymore. It's out of the question. Yes, we're buying him a gun.
Honors badge.
Yeah, to pay for it. That's what we're doing. I know. Yeah, I'm where we ordered it. We're just going ahead and giving you the approval to pay for it. Yeah. Again, we can, as long as it stays in the possession of the current sheriff's office, it's not a problem. But we just want to make sure that we're crossing all our T's, dotting all of our I's, and doing everything in the correct order. So these expenses that the incoming sheriff is going to have, which are de minimis, I think it's like 150 for a badge and wallet, somewhere in there. 170 had gone up. Inflation got badges too, I see. And then of course his educational expenses, we'll just make sure we've got those covered. So we have a motion, a second. Anything further? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. Number 26, discuss and approve budget amendments. I promise, Ms. True, we're going to get to you in just a minute. We're nervously waiting back there for us. Okay, cool. So we have budget amendments. Ms. Susan has provided those budget amendments today. And this is general fund budgeting contingencies. So what you're looking at is we are adding money from contingencies, subtracting from contingencies, and we're adding money into staff wages, JP2, because we did a miscalculation at the beginning of the year. We've known the whole year that that was off. And now at the end of the year, we have to clean that up. And this is for fiscal year 24, last year. So we have health insurance on JP1 was off, which that's not uncommon for health insurance in small offices. If you hire somebody at one thing and then they leave and you hire somebody else, something else changes. I couldn't tell. I thought it was brakes for a second, but call the city and tell them to check the fire truck. Capital outlay, $53,955. That's for the truck. Capital outlay health and safety was $49,790. That was for the truck. And $23,000 for autopsy transport, public access. 2 years ago, we set an all-time, 3 years ago, we set an all-time record. The next year it went way down. This year we budgeted in 24 less, and then guess what happened? It went back up again. So we left it up this year for 25. Those are the budget amendments before us. Motion and second to approve the aforementioned budget amendments. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. I'm going to sign this and pass that around. I think we got a misprint on that. Number 27, this is discuss under action on obtaining financing for capital assets. This is what we talked about earlier when we were saying that we've got 2 motor graders here, 2 trucks here, and some those trucks that we bought, what we just mentioned for the sheriff and the animal control officer. I don't know that we can take action on this today until we have some hard and fast numbers. So I will put this back on Friday's agenda, Friday afternoon's agenda, and we will tackle it Friday afternoon. We'll have some hard and fast numbers that we can bring back to everybody and have a conversation about how we will finance things. I saw the lights flicker too. That's never a good sign. That brings us to number 28, and that is pursuant to Texas Government Code, Chapter 551-087. The Hill County Commissioners Court will convene into executive session for deliberation regarding economic development negotiations. I ask the Commissioner, Mr. Holmes, and Ms. Jessica True to stay in here with us, and we'll get an update.